He's Scott Pioli, the former general manager, Patriots, Chiefs. He'll be on NBC Sports Network. Pro Football Talk with, I think, Mike Florio today, 5 Eastern today and tomorrow. When you're with Kansas City, obviously the terrible news with Jovan Belcher. How do you shake what you witnessed that day in the parking lot?
I don't know if you ever shake it. You know, I don't know if you ever. You surely don't forget it. But
did you have therapy? I mean, do you have to? Did you have to talk to somebody? I mean, you witnessed a tragedy.
It was awful, especially someone that you really care about and someone that you know. But it was so much more complicated than that because it was more than a suicide. There was the act that took place before. And it's still one of those things. Again,
but were you aware that he had killed his girlfriend by the time he got to the Chiefs facility? Did you know what had happened?
He had told me he did. Yeah, which was.
What do I not know about this, though, Scott?
There's a lot. There's a lot that I still have to sort out and figure out too. It was it's one of those things. It's surreal. Doesn't even do it justice. The word surreal to try to characterize it. It was unlike anything I've ever been through. And
but to see a man kill himself.
Yeah.
Did you think? I mean, do you go? What could we have done? What did we miss here?
Oh, of course, there's absolutely. If you're human, if you have a heart, if you have a conscience, if you have a thoughtful mind, absolutely. There's a lot of gymnastics that your mind goes through and second guessing of a lot of things, and that's stuff I'll figure out in time. It's it was again when you sign an NFL contract to do a job, or you do any job, you never think that you're going to go through something like that, and it was it's a tragedy. Again, here's the thing: the way I've looked at it, Dan, I was not a victim that day.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I saw something awful, but the reality is, there's other victims out there. There's people out there. There's family members. There's someone lost their daughter. Someone lost their son. There's people who lost a family member, and unfortunately, this is a microcosm of what's really going on in our world today, and that's what I've been trying to process. Is unfortunately I witnessed something horrific. The reality is I'm not unique. This is happening all over our world, all over our country.
Yeah.
And that's the bigger picture. You've got to start looking at it as you kind of try to get closure to it.
But here you are, and you're trying to sort all of this out, and you're looking at him. He's thanking you guys for giving him this opportunity to play football, but then he leaves you with this as his way of thanking you. Like the juxtaposition of saying thank you for the opportunity, and then he kills himself.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't make sense, but you have to make sense of something there with that, just to take something away from it. I mean,
and the truth is, I haven't made sense of it all. I don't know if any one of us that were there will ever make sense of it, because again, here's the reality. Every human being, I don't care who you are, has these deep, dark places, and you don't know, even those you're most intimate with, there's something you don't know. And clearly there was something that with Jovan that none of us knew.
Did football play a role?
I'm sorry.
In him taking his life? What role?
I don't think, no. I think he had a personal situation. It was one of the things that Jovan, because I got to know him actually when he was a senior at the University of Maine. And it was football and his mother were the only stable things in his entire life. And it was the thing that gave him structure, gave him worth. And so it's again, tragic doesn't even begin to, because when you take it away from Jovan, there's this poor girl that lost her life. To me, this wasn't just about Jovan. There was domestic abuse involved. This is, like I said.
But you do background checks on players.
Yeah.
And you never quite know. Everybody has skeletons. Right?
Speak for yourself.
Yeah. No, I was speaking for you.
Yeah.
You're right. I should have been speaking for me. But you do these background checks. You have investigators. You have private investigators. Was something missed?
It's the process we're going through right now and getting ready for this draft.
Yes,
absolutely.
Exactly.
You interview and you spend time with people and you do all kinds of work. And again, but in life, some of our closest friends, people that we know well and intimately, they do things and you just scratch your head sometimes. So I know you're a music guy, right? That's the word on the street.
Yeah.
Billy Joel's song "The Stranger."
Yeah.
talks about that very thing. There's places and that people have within their minds and souls that you just don't know, and you're never going to know, and it's awful.
I wish you the best of luck in TV. If it's sort of the away station for you before you get back into football, but
I thought this was a full-time gig. You mean I'm not?
No. I got 4 goofballs. You don't want to lower yourself, do you? You already got into TV. You don't want to get into TV and be a Danette, Scott. I wouldn't do that to you. But thank you. You're working with great folks with NBC Sports Network, and we appreciate you stopping by.
I appreciate it.
Scott Pioli, the former GM, front office man with the Chiefs and the New England Patriots, and joining NBC Sports Network.